Good afternoon, Mr. Hydara.
Itinyang, Mr. Hydara.
I hope you had a good break.
Alhamdulillah.
Thanks to God, thanks to Allah.
I would just like to recap the salient points that you went through during your testimony in the last session. You told us about your father's arrest and detention at various police stations in the Gambia. Following the Eid prayers he led, the day after the official announcement was made by the Supreme Islamic Council. You told us about the general state of health of your father. And his condition, especially after the Ramadan fast. And the conditions of detention of these different police stations. You explained about his meeting with the Supreme Islamic Council. And what was discussed, including the attempt to get your father to admit that he had done something wrong. Which he vehemently refused to do so. You also explained the history between your father and Jame. And the fact that he did not respond favorably. When a prayer request was made from Jame that he should be king of the country. You also spoke about his subsequent bail and release. And his trial before 3 different magistrates at the Birkama Magistrates Court. And the fact that you suspected that one of those magistrates was avoiding the case. And due to its peculiar and novel circumstances. You then went on to tell us that the case was subsequently transferred to the High Court. And there it was also transferred between 2 Nigerian judges. And you told us why you felt that it had been transferred from one Nigerian judge to the other. Which hinged on the issue of their neutrality and independence. And the fact that the latter was more inclined to be compliant. And the fact that the latter was more inclined to be compliant with the authorities. I believe that is the point we stopped before the break.
janim bida fonyon ningola.
Yes.
Can you kindly tell us how long it took at the High Court? That's the case. How long did it last there?
Sa fono nying case nying ay wati jeldelta Brikama la ukiti bumbaro. Memo High Court.
Mameje.
Well, we didn't spend a long time there.
Was it a matter of days or weeks or months?
Fo isa fono ila mira loro fo asikeno lungol tilamba lo kungol lamba fo karole mba mentaba kiti onyi kiti bumbaro je.
Ando lokum fulanga mira kana sinya sabada manga wala ki.
I think it took about 2 weeks because we went to the court house about only 3 times.
And were you still being represented by Mr. Mboch?
Hanin kabi ngal taro kidi bumbaro. Mr. Mboch han sayanga be lori ngal fele bang kal fasa bang kakalla lawyer de ba.
Ha bije amanka damman fanan.
Yes, he was there and he was not the only lawyer we had.
Who were the others?
Well, anin lawyer jumala ba alfi.
Ina ta dola bari LS Kamara bije.
I forgot the other lawyer's name, but
okay. Antuman fanan bije.
Antuman was there and LS Kamara.
And what eventually happened after the matter was heard at the High Court in Brikama?
Muna nata na kenya labang nying biring kidi onyi ya moy Brikama la ukiti bumbaro. Muna nata na kenya labang.
Ina ta muru magistrate court Brikama kote.
Then we went back to the magistrate court in Brikama.
And this time, who was the magistrate presiding over the case?
Say, many yal murunde kiti bundingoto. Memo magistrate court. Jumala keta magistrate ori.
Umar Cham amuruta wala ka.
It was returned to Mr. Omar Cham.
And what happened thereafter?
Muna nata na ke biri oborala.
Tata tala bulufai wati si.
He took the case for a time.
Ame asikari sabanyonsi.
I think it was almost for 3 months. Then I traveled out of the country and left the case going on. I spent 1 month away and came back. Then that was the time when I returned, I found the case with Ibrahima Jaite. I don't know whether it was from Cham to Jaite. I don't know because I was not around. But I later heard that the case was given to one Nigerian who decided to abstain from the case and gave it to Jaite. Because the man said he is not a Muslim. This is why he cannot take the case. That's what I know about the transfer of the case to Jaite.
And what happened when it got to Jaite's court?
Jaite went on with the trial.
And how did it conclude at Jaite's court?
Well, he later acquitted my father and the alkali, which became the end of the case.
And do you know what was the reason why he acquitted and discharged them?
Well, this is about the law. I don't know how it ended to the point of acquitting my father and the alkali, but that's how the case went.
But as far as you know, they were absolved of all wrongdoing before the law.
Etela londo to fo luala karola munda ya ye bula ko nyimbela la luala karola ba
ye bula le ko ma
ye tujele
ko ye minka amanka ku jawde.
Well, they were acquitted on the basis that they have not committed any wrong.
And all along, this is what your father was saying at the Supreme Islamic Council, that he did not do anything wrong.
Unda birin commando ka birin Supreme Islamic Council ifama kanyum kuma kan kilimo do nefa ko atamam fenke andunga maluwatinya.
Ha. Yes.
And did that further confirm your suspicions that indeed your father was targeted by Jame?
Fo nying ila fama la imbularo birin kitio ya bula onata ni ila soboni isobita menna ko ifama abe molle kono mealan ko iba nyenta kam mol kono la onata na sabadi sondo mo kono ko nyinde ngame mira so nyala nyinde
bake hanim be jamindo wala banko.
Yes, that was the case, and even right now where I am sitting, I still think that was the case.
And can you tell us what subsequently happened after your father was acquitted and discharged?
Isa fono nyi muna natana ke biri ye fama bula nyala ba
Lokun kilin kola
1 week after,
inata Ibrahim Jaita from arrest.
they came and arrested Ibrahim Jaita himself.
Malo ya arrest minade.
I don't know why Ibrahim Jaita was arrested,
Marin to la miro.
but what we thought
Tumanda em famanyo la kitio la nyami.
is the reason why he decided to acquit my father and the alkali.
Woda stara ko wal kono.
Maybe that might be the reason. That's our own thinking.
Did you receive any information after he was acquitted and discharged that related to the reason for his, after his arrest and detention, that related to the reason why he was arrested and detained?
birin ya bula kiti bungoro nyindo fo inar na kibaru soto le ban dalilo me asabu ya muta ya sindidula killing
Hanima soto nga kibaro la moy don ko ya mutale ye lungo fo abita kitio la lungo mina.
No, I didn't hear any other information. All what I had from the beginning was that he was arrested and he'll be taken to court.
But your suspicions were that it was because of the verdict that he had handed down in relation to your father's case.
bari sobita men na wala nyinti ko niaje ya muta Ibrahima Jaite Justice Ibrahima Jaite niaje ya muta wala nyinti ko kitio kundu nyame ifama na mo nyotema
Yeah, that's what I think. That was what I was thinking all along.
Did you have a chance to speak to the magistrate, Ibrahima Jaite himself?
fo inar na harje soto le ban pour ka diamu Justice Ibrahima Jaite ba
Ngamen ke wala nga fo mfama ile ko mi ele kitio kuntu ya mutale.
What I did was I went to my father and I told him that the man who acquitted you from the court or from the case has now also been arrested.
Ana tafanya nga futama nga la kontondiro futanda.
Then he told me to go and visit Mr. Jaite and extend his sincere greetings to Mr. Jaite. And I did that.
And when you went to visit him, did Mr. Jaite tell you anything about the reason he was arrested?
berita hada ka kumpa bo fo Mr. Jaite fo anarna kuma fo ende ban dalilo me asabu ya muta ba
Ani ngamilonje wolo kitio nyimanna ke anata fo ye lundo le muta.
Well, what I know about it is the day I went to him, in fact, happened to be the day they should have gone to court, but it was cancelled. The trial was again adjourned, so I left. He himself told me that my case has been adjourned, so I left. I just extended my father's greetings to him, and I left.
What eventually happened to his case?
muna narana ke nyala bang ala kitio nyi muna narana kala nyala bang nyi
Then later on, I went back to see him, but I didn't see him that day. He was not around. Then I later heard that he has been called to Banjul. Then they informed him that they will try and end this thing. They didn't want the journalists to be aware of what was going on. That's what I know between myself and Mr. Jaite.
Do you know if he was eventually released?
Oh, ila londo fo yalo na nyala bang nyi fo inara na bulale bang
ha iman na muta kana ko ya kumandi kachala purka ko ba
fo inara na bulale bang
ya bulala ha.
Yes, he was eventually released, and when he went to Banjul, he later told me that it was because of this topic. They called him and discussed with him and told him that this thing should come to an end now. This is how he was released.
And what do you refer to as this thing? Are you referring to your father's case?
Come again?
Are you referring to the fact that he was arrested and detained because of his father's case? Because he kept on saying this thing.
Ko ika fo ila diamo kono nying o ila fta fo la ko Justice Ibrahima Jaite la muto nying asujida ni ifama la ifama bula menke bang fo asujida ni wala bang.
Well, this is what I was thinking.
You had said that he told you that it was in relation to that.
Yeah,
that's what I want to confirm.
Yeah, for Janko, I found ya for Neko. Ala muto nying purka some foka kitinda sujira ni walla. Lafta ka walde sane andidro.
Hani atema for you.
No, he didn't inform me categorically. This is what I was thinking by myself.
That is the conclusion that you drew, because he was arrested as soon as your father was acquitted and discharged. What was the time period?
It was just about a week's duration.
And can you tell us what impacts this whole experience had on your father, on his state of health, as well as his family?
For isa fono nye nyinkuo be keri ngokola ay mun kole akule sabu ifa mama nala dimbaya lo anala jata kendea
ay batasi ala jata kendea male.
Well, really his health was affected because of all this. And a lot of things were not carried out because of his stay away from home. Because he had already prepared to go for the Hajj that year, which later on he has to cancel because of this case.
And what about the family? How did it affect your family? Because I know that your father came from a very large family, and he had a lot of followers. How did it affect him?
I will find button in Yadi, Katungalonko, Nanjikira Ninago, but ala dimbal ikono from the Bakele, and I can't Jamal Elephants from Yanko normally. I will find button in Yadi.
And the Jamal Amanke found some dimba damant, between Milby Jam for Murtan, Bari in Kitio, Lord Button for Murtan, Kana Kitio, Lord Cabon and Casamas, Lord Button and for France from Canaan in Kitio.
Well, it really affected our family and others followers of my father, because during the case, some people, we have relatives in Senegal, Casamas, and Mauritania. A lot of people from our family members from those countries came to attend the case. And in fact, some came from France just to come and attend this case. Well, this is why I can say that it affected our family quite well, and some of his followers who were following him throughout the case.
Can you tell us what your father, or how your father felt about the Supreme Islamic Council and the way they behaved towards him?
Ifama ate Supreme Islamic Council ayela koje nyadile andung kome ikataka nyameng ate la koje nyadile ando ayata nyadile.
Well, I didn't know anything between my father and the Supreme Islamic Council. Apart from this time that he was arrested, and they themselves told him that it was because of them that he was arrested.
And how did you feel about that, or how did your father feel about that, if you know?
Ite fama yo jenyadi le waranto ifama fana ayo ku jenyadi le ni alomba.
Mbe tora niyo ko ya bari mfama alfalam adu mo jamale bano jamale abunya mta ngaje ko ka jitunani ndoya tiringala ngaje wala nyamado.
Well, it affected a lot of us because he had a large following and a large family too, and we saw it that as a lack of respect, and he was somebody. According to this large following, when these things happened, a lot of people became affected, and it was also it also made us very angry.
And can you tell us whether your father shared the same religious views as the Supreme Islamic Council?
For isa fono nye ifama for I dino la Carola ate I mira kilimo so running Supreme Islamic Council bang.
Well, in some things he had the same thinking, but there are differences in other areas.
And do you know how he felt about those differences in those other areas? How did he feel about the Supreme Islamic Council?
For ila London, for isa London leba ifama o karo dalo me alonko among Supreme Islamic ila mirror man killing ate ol jenyadi le.
About calling in Karaku Dabo.
One of the reasons was the sighting of the moon.
Please elaborate on that and tell us what his views were.
Foko Nimaka Karoje Dauda is Salinolan, to Farmer Mantara Molkona Mimbelari.
Well, the notion that if Maka sees the moon, sights the moon, that we should pray, well, my father didn't have that belief. What he believed was we should see it for ourselves.
And can you tell us what the effect was if, as a Muslim, you pray without seeing the moon?
Faisa fononye mun kole ya kule bo koma yeke muslimoti yesali wayatara iman karoje.
Well, what we have been used to and what we know is that the Ramadan has to be either 29 days or 30 days. And you have to look for the moon on the 29th day of the Ramadan. If you don't see it, and you haven't seen anybody whom you trust who can tell you that they have sighted the moon, then you have to fast the following day, making it 30 days. Whether you sight it or not, the lunar month never passes 30 days. At that point, you have to pray. This is what we believe.
And do you believe that the government has a right to interfere in those religious aspects of the religion?
Ili jikita nyina ko manzakunda ay nyanto sotole bam pour ka dadun dina ko to bam kume menni ko sifal kamulumba
and tell you when to pray or not to pray.
Andun ka fo mole fana albe sallani wati na waranda albe sallani wati nela fo yamire manzakunda ay o nyanto sotole bam.
I don't think the government has that right.
And it would be correct that you would feel that your father had adopted the right position in not praying on the 28th day of July because he did not sight the moon.
Odo munta itela mira loto itela mira ifama atilintele ko amanson na kasali wala kasali karoti muanga ni kono seyola kome ate ami atela miro itela miro ko ifama atilinta wala.
No, Jankonto Lata Walla, ni morning Konanta K. Maje, is killing Kayeto Yati Manditansaba.
Yes, that's what we believe in. If you spend 28 days of the Ramadan up to the 29th day and you didn't sight the moon, then you have to add one more day to make it 30 days.
And you told Salta Lumina and told Latin morning Konantot.
And the day they prayed, for us, it happened to be the 29th day of the Ramadan. That's the day they prayed.
And do you believe that your father's rights were violated by the government?
So, amunde ilata nyina loko ifama ala nyanto manzakunda ya tinyale.
Manzakunda ya tinya Supreme Sam Council fana ya tinya.
Yes. The violation was caused by both the government and the Supreme Islamic Council.
And how do you feel about the government?
Ite kuota nyadi le manzakunda la karola.
There's nothing we can do about it, but really it made us very unhappy.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hydarah. We've come to the end of your testimony.
Mr. Hydarah, silam vuratela sede andiro nyin kumfadula tole.
Mr. Chair, before I hand over to you, I have some other documents I wish to add to the record.
Mr. Kiaman akamen fole miento Mr. Kiaman ila dunyo kan jannimbe kumoni murunla commissional kan do kayto dolel be mbul jang be lafla kamen dundi diamo kono ke la fanna sele jarol kan.
I have 5 newspapers.
Ki war bunda kayti lulu wala be mbul.
And they're all different.
And we be ifaratale.
On different dates, and I would like to exhibit them.
Be lafla ke dundi diamo kono.
As 110.
Kato di la mem 110.
C, D, E, F, and G.
C, D, E, F, G,
A. Thank you, Council. Request granted, and thank you very much for leading the witness. And Mr. Hydara, thank you very much for coming to testify before the Commission.
Kiaman kamen fola nyinti abarka wake council wala loyati ile kanin ronyi men kanin jang commission ya tale andung hansa sedo ita fanan abarka bake la songolo kanadiam commission nyati ngola jang kela sedo andiro di.
And I'm sorry that your father and his followers had to go through difficult experience with the government of that time.
Andung nyinketa ni kuya di bake pour fama nala kanun telu me lango ba noma pour kole akol men taki mansakunda gul men benu jang.
The issue was one that governments normally would not be involved in.
Kule me lango mansakunda manyana ka dadu ngakoni to.
Turn to the commissioners if you have any questions.
Commissioner
Jones, you have the floor, please.
Commissioner Jones,
thank you, Chairman. And thank you, Mr. Hydara, for your testimony. I have a question regarding JAME's directives. To the best of your knowledge, prior to the incident of 2013, had JAME previously given any instructions on what day either Karita or Tobaski should be performed?
Even if it happened, I have never had it or to be aware of it.
Okay, thank you. And following the incident that happened with your father, are you aware, to the best of your knowledge, if any such directives were ever issued again?
Birinyin ko be keta fabanda fo inata nyi nyong kam fasongo moyle ya jame ya nyong kangodi wala ka nyong odadi ko sali kunya lu nyanta kelaten fo inata moyle
ani adanta wala ntol han banna fana ni man sal nyon ka itande ko ni man tala ko kidon ko.
Well, that was the end of it. Even the Idel Adha prayers, that's the Tobaski prayers, we didn't pray on the same day with them. And nobody was arrested for that.
No, the question was, are you aware if he issued any other directives following the incident of 2014?
Akabe nyinin karome na wale mfolum ay nyinyon kando fanan dile nu menning wo kamo fatata menketa sababu ti fama dunta kul kono menkono. Yeah, that's what I said. I have never had anything like that.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner Kinte.
Commissioner Kinte wala bine nyinin kala.
Assalamu alaikum, Shabas. Ko be nyinin kala le nyin ko be la keo kono. Ko ri wati mon soto me alon ko kebare mu nyin waran afeñol yo molli pa wati la ela nyin ko be kono fo jannabe banna.
Well, the question is, he asked, is that during the whole time that your father was incarcerated or was in detention, are you aware whether any of his followers or the people that were with him there has been beaten or maltreated anyhow? I know there were threatening words, but I've never heard of any beatings or any other maltreatment.
Yapo fananko ibamtara watu menna abota sungola ni bota sungole katara lampurinne jato katara batari fo korama la jata kende atora fo mosa sobiko waya tinna atuta nyoko la fama mbaluno koteke.
The question is that, well, your father has fasted the whole Ramadan, and fasting the whole Ramadan reduces the body's weight. And after the Ramadan, the time they arrested him, he was weak because of the Ramadan. Whether that has added or increased anything to his health or deteriorated his health to a point where he was unable to recover until the time of his demise.
Kalo ne ko ni sa bala fana ito lamu to ya la fale amam fen talaji.
Well, what I can say is that even if he was sick, well, their arrest has contributed a lot to the deterioration of his health.
Katu lokum fula janaka ba.
Because 2 weeks before he passed away,
Abalola dimu ay wala fonye.
he said he feels pain all over his body.
Nata fonye dandam pharmacy to.
So he told me to take him to the pharmacy.
Wala keta last day fanentina la nyonji.
That was the last day I saw him also.
Nga wala kalamte.
Yeah, that's all what I can understand. That's what I understand.
Yes, Imam Jallo. I'm sure Imam Jallo.
Sharif Hydara, lafte nyininkala ko kilin la.
I want to ask you one thing.
Yalong alako molien ko mtol muslimol ko mbe yatra ko kilingoto nkana wali.
Allah instructed Muslims always to unite, always to follow one thing. Let's not have differences.
Tonya bi itemanke keba bati follow.
Truly, you are not that old person as yet.
Bali itilem khalifoti.
But right now you are the Caliph.
Itiami de nyum sombalia membe muslimol tema pour salilungo me nyim bannano nyaadile.
This lack of agreement between Muslims about the Eid, the days of the Eid, how can we try and put an end to this disagreement between Muslims?
Bismillah.
Lata minna wala momo ini karamole.
What I believe is every person has his teachers.
Ni jututa mo tala be jutule tala.
If you look low on somebody's teachers, he will also look low on your teachers.
Dunia kuja mo buli fi amambe.
And if you see somebody with something that is not good, what is better is to organize a dialogue. We all know that where force is used is always detrimental. And when that brings divisions, it never creates peace. That's all what I know. Up to now, I want to continue and ask.
The Supreme Islamic Council.
You see, Supreme Islamic Council
and
the caliphs who live in this country. You think
Supreme Islamic Council to
if you think the Supreme Islamic Council was occupied by those caliphs, don't you? What he replied is that I think that there would have been no disagreement.
Oh, thank you. Imam C, you have the floor.
Haidara Nula Ziara.
Haidara, we send greetings to you. We are also praying for your father. Where he was standing on a very correct hadith. And also, we were also on that same track. And what Islam said, you have to seek the moon. If you see it, then you pray. If you don't see it, you wait until after. If the place is dark and you cannot sight the moon, then you have to extend the fasting to 30 days. That's it.
Thank you. Any further questions? If not, Commissioner Bojang, you have the floor.
Thank you, Chairman. Sir Abbas.
Sheikh Abbas.
I
want to ask you because today you are here to represent your father. But we are all talking about here is about the Islamic religion and prayers. In your statement you said Allah said,
Ne karoje.
if you see the moon,
Ise sum.
you can fast at the
Ne
beginning.
karoje.
If you see the moon,
Ise sali.
you can pray.
Iko tilimu wani nkononto anitil tansaba mbole datu.
Well, the Islamic lunar month is 29 or 30 days.
Sainte be nyine ka ko be nyin sira min te fama to ya la lonnal to ya.
Well, what I want to ask you about, you are sitting here on behalf of your father.
Ni imonyo misilimo ko ay karo jele nga sun o ngon monyo misilimo ko ay karo jele nga sali. Wobe kele nyaade nyanta mine kele.
Another Muslim like you, if that person says they have sighted the moon, let's pray or let's fast. If it is at the beginning, you fast. If it is at the end, then you pray. Well, if that happens, what do you think should be done? Because those are the witnesses we have about the Muslim faith.
And Supreme Islamic Council
And in many cases, the Supreme Islamic Council used to announce the moon was sighted at so-and-so village or at so-and-so town. So how should we go about that? Thank you. Well, what I know, even the imam, if you are not sure or if you don't trust him, you cannot pray behind him. If you have different views with somebody and he shows you anything, you will not agree, you won't follow. This is what I can reply you.
Thank you very much.
Okay, baraka.
Never madumje akoyafo.
Komi iman la mol yalla mbe mu dina kinwon. Dino fola baliane lanno bijele ba mba mbe muslimi dina kinwon.
Dino ma fansun ko ti mol mu fansun ko. Dino ba fayele mol la ko be fayel.
Okay.
Ame nyaka jele mol la ka bomo tetendi dula tanti ko mu muslimi.
Baraka.
Yes, the Islamic religion is by itself and people have their own issues. Because we've seen Muslims exploding bombs in mosques and other places, and they call themselves Muslims.
Mr. Hydra, thank you. If you have any concluding remarks to make, please proceed to do so now.
Saim Mr. Hydra, between Silang Chairman Yesilo Dila, ite fanan silang ibela kacha kumfala kumakangulu menu la ibela fila kumakangulu menu futandi la banko moluma akwesi ofo. First of all, my thanks to Allah, the reigning king over all the two worlds. The king whom you know, nobody will escape him, both in this world and in the next world. What my father encountered is very difficult and painful. But we are happy on another side. We thank Allah. Because he was not arrested because of a crime he committed. They didn't arrest him for doing something very bad. Because he was arrested because of prayers. And that has been given to the Islamic Ummah by Allah himself. It is not from a human being. Those who said they arrested him, they didn't give that to themselves. It was from Allah. What I can say here, we don't trust the Supreme Islamic Council and we are afraid of them. Because we all know after the change of the regime, the NIA were here before. But what they were doing, they struck fear into people's hearts up to the point that when the change came about, the department's name itself has been changed. I'm appealing to the government, if they can give the Supreme Islamic Council another name different from this present name, we would like that. And the problem when it was occurring, which my father went through, is being when the people who were there are the same people who are still in that council, and we don't want them there. If there are changes in personalities, new faces come, we will trust them, we will believe. Secondly, I would like to extend my sincerest thanks to the TRRC. It's more than a year I have been following the sittings, the testimonies here. I used to watch it before coming here. I learned a lot out of the TRRC sittings. I trust in your job, but when the job comes to an end, that's where I have my misgivings. We all saw the end of a former commission here, which was the Jane Commission. When it completed its job, well, it looks like they tried to sever what was done. The people they want out of places that took place. The people that they don't want to deal with, they are still in the system. If the same thing happens with this commission, all those who are victims will be very unhappy. And your job is to reconcile the Gambian people. If people fail to get that, yeah, you will have a good name, but at the end, things will look bad. I'm appealing to the government and the House of Parliament. Let them consider that very well. And I'm also appealing to everybody, let's pray for peace and stability in this country. Because we are seeing what's happening in Libya, Syria, and other areas where wars are raging. If you see something like that, you pray to Allah so that you will not find yourself in that same situation. My sincerest thanks to the journalists. Because a few years back, we can't get anything like today. Because I know that we were not the only victims, journalists were also victims. But I appeal to journalists for one thing. Whatever will bring destruction, please leave that aside. Even if you are aware of it, anything that will disunite or bring destruction, leave it alone. Because the reason why we are sitting here today with all of you, it's because of the peace. If something else comes different from peace and stability, everybody will try to save him or herself. This is what I have to tell you. I'll apologize. If I say anything which pains anybody, please forgive me. I apologize for that. I'm still praying to Allah to maintain peace and stability in this country and other countries. Thank you very much. I'm very happy today.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr. Hydara, and thank you also for the kind words you addressed to the Commission.
Chairman ko enumbara bake Mr. Hydara, enumbara fanang yekuma kankendo lumenu for Commission to Jambi.
And also thank you for the wise words that you have just delivered.
Inumbara fanang yekuma kanyimma lumenu for janteng, inumbara wo kuma kangolu bunyakama.
As well as for your kind prayers.
Ani yadua kendo mem fananke inumbara.
Thank you again for coming to testify before the Commission. Council, are we continuing? We still have 45 minutes to our normal lunch break. Do we have witnesses or witness ready to do the 45 minutes and then continue after lunch, or do you want me to add the 40 minutes to the lunch break?
As the chair pleases, we will just request for 10 minutes break to actually reset because we have a group witness hearing that's coming up next. So if we just take a 10-minute break with the permission of the chair so that we set up and we start before the lunch break.
Very splendid. I'd like to hear that one. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We will take a 10-minute suspension and then come back with the next witnesses. Thank you. Meeting is adjourned.